sure I am gonna need glasses. Yes. All right. My coffee. Be right there. After I get. All right. Dun, 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 dun. Trying to connect. Okay, good. Good. Connecting. Hello, everybody. You've got Mary Burke Live. You may or may not be able to see me right now, but you can hear me. I'm right here. Yes. All right. Let's see what I got going on. Today we are doing some more painting. Yeah, it went over so well yesterday and I enjoyed it so much. I'm going to do some more of it today. Let's see what I got here. Don't mind me. I'm right here. Hello there. Get that coffee going. All right, this one I'm gonna have to turn off and reconnect. It's having connectivity issues. I've been having connection issues all morning, so we are going to see about that. Okay, I'm back. Back in the saddle again. Here we are. You've got Mary Burke Live. Sorry. Took me a second to get all squared away. Oh, you need to really be moved over that way. Okay. There. Now we have it a little bit better. I'm thinking bring you in a little bit, bring you over a little bit, bring you back a little bit. All these things. Trying to get the camera, the angle of the dangle correct. So hello, you've got Mary Burke Live. Thank you for joining me. Yes, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hoping that you guys are all enjoying your, my hair is kind of a little bit crazy today. All right, I have to reset this phone because it wasn't connecting properly. Turn it back on so then I can go back live on Facebook, right? So I will be simul-broadcasting on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook once it comes back up. There we go. Now it's live. Back to Facebook. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. You've got Mary Burke Live. And I do have one of these canvases, paint by numbers. And this is what we will be working on. So it's gonna look a little something like that when we are done. All right, that's the idea anyways. Okay, now we're gonna try to resume that live video, see if that works, see if I've got have a connection. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to move you. There we go. 3, 2, 1, it's stuck on 1. So Facebook might be an issue today, so we will, broadcast failed, okay. Excellent, hold on a second. Sorry, I'm bringing you behind the scenes today, getting set up. All right, so make it at 11. 11 with Mary. And today we are painting the canvas, right? We are painting the canvas here. So you have your paintbrushes ready, everybody? Painting the canvas. There we go. Okay. See what's going on with my Wi-Fi, because it could just be turn the Wi-Fi off and back on again. Here we go. Wi-Fi. Ta-da. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turn the Wi-Fi back on. Connect there. So we should be good there. All right, and now go back to my Facebook and see if Facebook will reload. All right, I might have to close the app altogether, close everything, and go back reopen, restart fresh, go to live. I don't want to resume the live. I just want to start a live. There we go. Make it at 11 with Mary. And we are painting the canvas. There you have it. Hello, puppy dogs. Let's see if it will go live now. Ta-da. All right, looks like that is now synced up. Sorry for the hand to the face. I didn't mean to give you the pawn face. Yes, we're doing a paint by numbers today, so thank you for joining me. MaryBurke Live. The coffee is hot. Every day I do a little something different. It's a little vlog. I bring you a slice of my life every day, and today is painting. So we're gonna get to painting. Make sure you have your paintbrushes ready. Did you clean your paintbrushes before we start? Are they well cleaned? Because we're gonna be dipping them in the paint and getting them somewhat dirty. Now, it's paint by numbers, so I choose a number, or actually, I guess I could have you choose a number 13 through 18 is the one bar of these that I have not tried yet. So 13 through 18, let me know which one you think. If this is Instagram, it stops scrolling. Yeah, so I'm way behind. Sorry, everybody. Oh yeah, okay. Sorry about that. Okay, now I'm back. I don't know why the shirt just wants to sit funny today. Okay, so I am doing well. Thanks for asking. Thank you, everybody that's joined in so far. Paul's here. I can't see all the names. I don't know why TikToks, it's very faint. It's much harder for me to see TikToks, the TikTok scroll. Thank you for loving my videos. I do appreciate that. Thank you for being here today. It is a yucky day out there today, so another good day to get some painting in, right? So you want to look at the canvas first. So this is what I've got started so far. You're starting to see a little bit of an outline, right? The tree line at the top and a little bit of water at the bottom. Yes. All right, nobody's given me a number yet. 13 to 18. If you don't pick, I'm gonna pick 17. Should I go with 17? Let's see. Let's see. I'm thinking 17. Or 18. 18 has a lot of big ones. 17's not quite as big. And then we get down to this one. Has no number. Oh, that's fun. That's fun when I have no number in. Oh, 20. Okay, it did have a number in there. 20, 18. I'm looking for ones that are gonna give me some coverage. That's 20, 20, 20. A lot of 20 in there. Maybe we do a 20. What's 20? So we got 20 here. No numbers? So I was looking for 18's another pretty big one. 18. 10. 20. Some of these are hard to read. 20. Let's see, even with my glasses. 20. 16. I can't tell if that's a 13. Some of those are so fine. I might have to get a magnifying glass. Those are so fine. When the number gets larger, the printing gets smaller. And that's with my readers on. Oh my goodness. I will never be able to read it without it. Okay, let's see. Let's get in here. Let's take a good look. Take a good look at the canvas and see what we want to do here. So I'm still thinking 18. No 18s up in that corner. No 18s, no 18s. 16s, 19, 16, 10, 17, Might be 18. We're going with 18. All right, so if you haven't done one of these before, they're pretty fun. They're just paint by numbers. I have several different brushes to choose from. A thick, longer thick tip. Then I've got, maybe that, this one's pointier, this one's thicker. And we're gonna go over those brushes. And then I got a fine point, teeny one, right, and a mini, yes. And then I have a flat brush for some broader ones. So like if I was doing 3 or something along that nature, or 5, I could probably use that, or 23 or 8 down here. But I'm thinking we're gonna add some of the peach colors in there. So I'm thinking 18. So for that one, I'm probably gonna go with this one. We're gonna see whether it's this one or not. I am gonna wet that brush to get it started, make sure that it's nice and loose, that it's not too stiff. Yes. Hello, hello. Yes. That's a lot of words. Somebody wrote a whole paragraph. I won't be able to read all that. So sorry, on Facebook. So make sure that you write, yes, the color preparation. Here we're working on that color prep. Thank you, Gabriel, for watching. Make sure that you put in appropriate questions. Otherwise, YouTube specifically will bleep you on out, okay? They'll redact your question. Yes, so hi there, thank you for joining me. I am simulbroadcasting on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. So just be careful of the fakes. The fake may jump in. As you can see, I'm painting, so I'm not, I will verbally respond to you, but I won't be typing any responses. So if you start getting typed responses from me while we are live, I may go back post and start liking your comments and stuff like that in post-production, but not right now. So this is the account for you to follow. This is the account for you to like, for you to subscribe to. I remembered on Instagram to turn subscriptions on so you can subscribe right from my live. Good morning, good morning. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the rose. I do appreciate that. Now, the coffee is hot. Let's get into making some magic here with number 18. We're gonna be making some magic with 18. Yeah, it's not Wednesday, correct. It's not Workout Wednesday, not Wacky Workout Wednesday. So you've got me today, and it is do it yourself or arts and crafts. And I decided to continue. I had so much fun painting with you yesterday that I'm going to be continuing the paint-a-thon, if you will. And I take a little toothpick and I poke it into all that paint and stir it around, make sure that I don't have anything that's dried out. We want our paint wet, right? And we don't want any clumps in there. So I did not get to working out this morning except for my 1.5-mile walk. So stay tuned for that. I'll probably be doing some workouts later in the day. Thank you for joining me. Yes, thank you for hitting follow. So this is the account for your follow. Make sure you're following me. If you didn't know that I had a TikTok or a YouTube or an Instagram or a Facebook, the best thing for you to also do is go to my profile page after you've hit follow here or subscribe here, wink, wink. And then once you've got followed here, you can go to my profile page, go to my profile links, and I'll show you all my authorized social media platforms. So it's very important that you're hitting the authorized ones, because you go to TikTok or Instagram or Facebook and there's so many fake ones that I don't want you following the fakes. I want you following me. So make sure you're following me, right? Thanks for following me anywhere, JYN, Jane. I do not do Snapchat. So that's another easy way to tell that you're dealing with a fake. No Snapchat, no Telegram, no Zangi, no Instagram chat or Facebook Messenger, no Google Chat. So none of those. I do chat, but it's only available on certain sites. So just make sure that you aren't falling for the fakes. All right. So thanks for liking my idea. Thank you. Good morning, Hoffman. Thank you for joining in. Hi, Anthony. Thank you for being here. Yes. Hi there, Amrit and David. Stefano, thank you. Thank you for the love. Thank you, Paul, for chiming in. All right, so we're gonna dip our brush. So the other thing is I just cradle it gently into the palm of my hand. I do put firm pressure on that paintbrush shaft above the tip, all right? I want it to flow freely, but I do want control over that tip. So I don't put it all the way up there because then I have very limited motion. I can make much broader strokes, much easier, fluent strokes with the paintbrush if I hold it behind the metal tip. So, all right. And now into the 18 we dip, and we're going to look for our first 18. Some hair there in my way. You may see me end up pulling it back, and I do work right to left when I am painting because I am a lefty. If I go left to right, I will be painting over my hand. So thank you for joining me. Make sure, okay, we got a little 18 here. There's a little one right there. We got this, and we're gonna fill that in. So yesterday I worked with that gray orange, and today I am working with kind of the gray green, and so today is more of a terracotta orange color. So we'll be working on 18s on this right quadrant here to start off with, and then I do the top quarter. Then I'll go to the left quadrant, so it's in 4s, and then I'll work my way down. So you may, if you write to me, you're new to my live, thank you for joining. This is the account for you to hit follow. Yeah, hit follow right there. Subscribe. Yes, and give my live a like. Thank you. Doing well. I am filling in. We get some squiggles, right? You like to do the squiggles there. Get into a nice rhythm of stroking, and we're going to do some slow strokes to begin with, like so, and then we're going to fill it in. Now normally I'm doing some smaller pieces. That's what's coming up to start off with, so I will be filling in as I go. Normally I trace all around the edges and then go back and fill the middle and see if there's any dry spots, to which then I fill in at a late, on the second application. But right now, we're gonna stay like this. I'm just gonna tap it a little bit there on that corner. And now that I've got it pretty well filled in, I'm just gonna go back and give it a nice little stroke in there. All right, and then I have another 18, ooh, another teeny tiny one right here. So it's kind of a bright, this one's more of a bright, not a coral, more orangey than a coral. This one's almost a square like that. And there you have it, like so. The other important thing is that you don't paint over the other numbers. Yes, you're getting crazy for the canvas. Yeah, you're gonna paint that canvas, right? Now this, right now I'm doing some controlled painting. Later I'll be doing some full-on strokes, and we'll be doing some broad strokes, and we'll get to covering more of that canvas. Right now it started off with some pretty small ones. Rusty, what are you doing over there? You playing over there? Rusty's making a whole lot of racket. It's because the landscapers are here, and he wants to go out and play with the landscapers. So, all right. Do I have any? Oh yes, I have a big 18. All right. So now we're getting into a big 18 over here. So this one is a big 18. I'm going to keep you in frame. Hi Stella, how are you? Stella's coming along now too. Now that she can hear the landscapers, she wants to come over and join in too. So I do go around and trace my edges so that I can try and stay within the lines. I'm not always good at painting within the lines. So we are going to do our best to try. Yep, I already went over that line. I did not cover up the 13. The 13 is that brown color. And so I know that one is coming. There we go. And then we're gonna come over like so. We're gonna get in here. Oh, there's a swoosh. We want a swoosh right there, swoosh. And you should see, so and when I get done with this part, you might see some of the outline of the building that I'm working on here. This is one of the hillside buildings. And then this one's a nice one down. And you have to be rather steady with your hand. You know, you have to give it nice, even pressure and be steady with it. You know, don't be jerking it all around. You want to have a nice, steady stroke, nice and even on the straightaways. And then, you know, a little bit slower or faster on the curves. And then we have a little bit of a zigzaggy on the bottom. So we're gonna fill that in. Make sure that you have enough paint on the tip. Make sure you go back to the well often and re-dip it, okay? You wanna re-dip it, make sure that that tip is covered in paint. For you to continue your stroke. And then we're just gonna come down and around, like so. I'm gonna come back up to the top and finish it off on this side. And then you'll see that we have some windows in the middle that I painted yesterday. So we're gonna also trim around that edge, right? Trim around that edge and swoop it. And this really helps me with my fine motor skills. For those of you that didn't catch my live yesterday, a couple years ago I had a little accident and it popped a bone out of my hand in a funky manner. So I had to figure out ways to do some therapy for my thumb and forefinger, and I would get an awful lot of pain right in here. So latch hooking, something I did as a kid, was a great rehab for me, as well as this, painting here. So that's how I got back into doing that. Thank you for joining me. You've got Mary Burke Live. Make sure you hit follow. Make sure you hit like. Make sure you hit subscribe and give it a like. And get your paintbrush out and start painting with me, right? Now it is, you'll see here, I'm going up over the top and going in an opposite direction, right? So I'm closing that box that way. So sometimes, you know, if you can't get the right angle, you're gonna have to go up over the top and come back up. And so it does work your motor skills in all sorts of different directions, right? So I'm trimming out around those windows right now, like so. And I can be a little bit freer with that, making sure that I get full coverage, but I don't have to be quite so tight. And now over here, I do have to be a little bit tighter because there is another color that is gonna go into that little sliver there that you can see, right? So we're gonna outline those windows like so. I'm gonna outline this window. I have plenty of paint. I can start using some of the paint that's on the side, right, of my brush. It may have, you know, it gets plumper in the middle. Once I pushed it off the tip, it goes down onto the plump part of the brush. So I can then kind of press and milk that out of it. I'm just gonna finish this box down here. All right, now we're getting into some finer paints. Right here on this one, because I have a little bit of color there, and like this, and then I'm gonna go out and go around the semicircle. There's like a semicircle right here. And then we're gonna close it on the other side. I'm gonna have to come up over the top again and brush up and away from me, like so. And see if I can close that loop. And, you know, I can also move the canvas to my, you know, I don't have the canvas up on an easel or anything, so I can move the canvas where I need it to make sure I get full coverage. But if you have your canvas up in front of you, then you might not be able to change the angle of the dangle there. There you go. All right, I got that one, and then we're gonna fill this in on the top and brush across. Okay, so we're gonna close the loop on that window, like so. We're gonna give it a nice long stroke down, nice and even on that. Now I've got these tiny little cutouts here, and I have to leave those blank because those will be filled in with a color at a later date. But I need to make sure that I leave it, because if I don't, we're gonna come back and I'm gonna be like, there's supposed to be, if I color over it, I'm gonna be like, there was supposed to be something there, and I will have missed it. So we're gonna go back out and around this one. Again, nice and slow. Make sure you get full coverage. Make sure you cover that all the ink sinks into that canvas too. Okay, and now I've closed the loop on that. Okay, now I can get back into some broader strokes. Now I'm putting a lot of paint on there, okay? And now we can just have some fun, go into town, nice long. You can either take some, like I can go all the way at the bottom, give some long strokes, give it a nice line. Or I can swirl it. You know, sometimes you want to give a little twist to the wrist, right? You want to go sideways, you can pull it sideways. There's all sorts of things that we can do with this brush. And that's paint by numbers, so, you know, it's not like I'll be putting it up in an art gallery or anything. All right, so now I can fill in all of this. And again, you could do some quick short strokes, or you could give it a nice long stroke. Again, you could swirl it. The idea is that you're covering that whole space. You don't want any of the white showing through. You want it to be completely covered in your color. There you go. All right, so now you can see that one of our little buildings right there is almost done, right? There we go. And TikTok never loves when I do this. They restrict my, yes, I got it. I got it. You restricted me in some areas for my brush stroking. I got it. I got it. And I still have to, even still, I have to wear something. This is all for TikTok, because I would wear a tank top, and I can't wear a tank top on TikTok because they say that that's overexposure. So, all right. But you should hit follow and subscribe. And from there, you should also check out my profile links to make sure that you've got my Instagram, my TikTok, my Facebook, and my YouTube. That's the best way to do it, is to make sure that you're getting the authorized, my authorized site. You're not falling for the fakes. So it's very important that you click on those links so that you can choose to watch me across all the different social media platforms. Yes. Yes, I like getting in and doing those long strokes. Now the short strokes actually help with my again, my fine motor skills, but I like doing them all. So whether it be a long stroke or a short stroke. Okay, well, now we're back to looking for another 18. Help me find another 18. Let's see, is this an 18? No, that's not an 18. Oh, but that's an 18. This one up here is an 18. Okay. Some of them, when the thing gets smaller, they also reduce the print size on it, which makes it crazy. That's why I got my cheaters on. Gotta wear my cheaters so that I make sure that I don't miss any of the numbers there. Something makes me think I'm gonna miss a lot of 18s. because they seem to be smaller. Okay, blah, 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 17, 17, 15, 13, 16. Okay, well, okay, in this first quadrant, I got another 18 down here. This one's a little bit bigger and easier to paint. So we're gonna trace that edge. I'm gonna start in that upper right-hand corner, come up to a peak, come back down. It's gonna come down to a valley, and then it's gonna go on to a gradual incline on the other side. It's gonna crest again or peak again. And then we're gonna swoop down and around like so. And then we're gonna do like another little sachet. Then we're gonna have a straight line to the corner. And then it's gonna bulb us out and around and down. And I'm gonna come back to that right side. We're gonna do a straight line down. Might take a couple of strokes to get there. And then we're gonna go a zigzag across the bottom. And then we're gonna come up and on that back side, we're gonna swirl around. There you go. It is gonna come to a point. So you're gonna need to get a little bit more paint right on that tip for the point and just kind of dab that point right in there. And then swirl around and then follow that line all the way through. Close your loop, now you got your box. Now we're gonna paint inside the box and get full coverage on that canvas so that none of the white is poking through. You want that complete coverage on that canvas. There you go. Color it and cover it. There you have it. All right, so let's see if I have another 18. Yes, I do. Okay, that's a 10, 19, 10, 19, 18 right here on the, ooh, this one's like a V. Yeah, V right here on the edge. Okay, I had to dip it again. You might have to dip over and over again. Oh, this is a very fine point. So I might change my brush for the very fine point. Right here, let's get my real fine point one. Oh, I got an itchy nose. Sorry about that, guys. Got a real fine point one, it's the shorty. So I'm gonna take my shorty, put a little paint on that, and then get really down into this one. It is a very fine, there you go. And then around. So I just changed up the brush. You may not have the opportunity to change out your brushes, but if you're only dealing with one paintbrush, I completely understand. So you're just gonna have to be as delicate as you can in that tiny little crack. Ooh, excuse me. I started talking before I was done swallowing. Don't you hate when that happens? Okay. But I am gonna go back and make sure that there's full coverage in there, that I thought I saw some glistening, that it was not fully covered. Okay, so that's good. All right, now we got another 18 here, this long, it's a long piece. And it travels up high, comes up to a point or a tip at the top. So we're gonna try to fill in the tip first, do that outline. And it is gonna have like a little helmet there on the top. We're gonna work all the way down and swoop around. See what I'm talking about there? We're not all the way down now, so we're not over that tip. So it's gonna, here's that, it bulbs out at the bottom, and then it's gonna come in right there. So before it gets out into that thicker bottom part. All right, and we're gonna go across, come back up on it, and see how thick it gets right in through here. We're just gonna paint that edge, and then we're gonna be able to swoop down for a good long minute here. This may take another application of the paint. I am gonna squeeze it out of the middle. You can see I got a lot of paint there in the middle. I'm gonna go back and re-dip the tip, use some of that excess paint that I had in the middle, come in, and then we're gonna swirl down. See, it's still going. That long, all the way down to here. I'm gonna work it back up a little bit and going in the other direction. I'm gonna take that tip, that excess paint again, redip the tip so I don't have to go back to the well. I can use some of that I've already got. I've already got it there on the canvas. I can just redistribute it as needed. Okay. And then once I get those finer parts done and I get that, I'll be able to take those glasses off again. I want to make sure I don't miss anything here. Right. And we're going to swoop around here. And then we're going to come down here. Oh, now I need a little bit more. I'm going to dip the tip again. Okay, we're going to start at the top and work our way down on the left side of this long, rather phallic looking piece here. Okay, make sure I get this left edge like so. Then we're gonna come out there, and then now we're back down into that longer, thicker part. And then we're gonna come back all the way here. And change the angle of the dangle just a little bit on the canvas so I can make sure that I'm hitting all the right spots. And it's so satisfying once you get it all done. Okay, but we still got more, but wait. There's still more. We gotta come all the way down this side. Like so. And then we close the loop. Right, so see what I'm saying? That's a very long, skinny, kind of phallic looking. Maybe it's just my eyes that thinks it's phallic. But, all right, so then we can take now we can take that paint and just nice, long strokes to fill it all the way down. Don't forget that tip. We left a little bit exposed up top there. I'm gonna get that covered in paint. And, all right. Thank you for joining me. You've got Mary Burke Live. This is the account for you to follow, like, subscribe to, all of the above. Make sure you hit the profile link so that you're getting all my authorized social media. There you go. All right, so now we finished that second part. Now that splits the second, the third, and the fourth quadrant. That I do work. I'm gonna go back over this edge. It looks like I missed a couple of spots. Make sure that you hit my profile link so that you know all my authorized social media. A lot of fakes out there, so just make sure you're following me. Okay, we're done with that one. So if you have a question, if you have any tips, I'm no expert. This is just paint by numbers, and it's fun to do. But if some of the painters out there have some tips, I'd love to hear your tips. I do. Never forget the tip. Absolutely, you gotta pay close attention to the tip. Make sure that it's got plenty of paint on it. Sometimes, like I said, it does roll down and fill into the middle part of the brush. So when you get to a wider section, you can put some pressure on it and squeeze out that excess paint. So at least that's what I found. I can't show any more than what I'm already showing. That is not allowed on any of these platforms. I do my best to stay in compliance with each and every one of the platforms that I'm on. Even still, TikTok dinged me today, and they're still letting me broadcast, which is fine, but they still seem to think that I am overexposed. This is what I wear on the daily, whether you see me here or you see me out and about. So, okay. Now let's get back up into this top quadrant. Let's look for some more 18s. Can you help me search for some 18s on here? Okay, we're going up and over, looking on that canvas. All right, we're gonna run down this next little quadrant, see if I come across any 18s. It's a 16, here's an 18 right here. So we're gonna start in on here. Well, my tip ran dry, so we're gonna dip that back into the paint. Put it in the well, get it all slick and covered in paint. And then we're gonna trace the edge and fill in our box here. This one is more like a box, so we're gonna, does have some curvature to it and an angle here. This is a sloping downward angle. Then it will even off on this corner here, and then we'll come straight down again, and then it's gonna come back in here and then curve around. And now we've made the outline of our kind of weird box, but, and then we get to fill it in the middle. Just really have some fun, cover it all. And there you have it, like that. Oh, see now on here, I can, now that this has started to dry a little bit, I can see all the places that I missed. I'm gonna go back and give it a second coat. Sometimes you gotta give it a second coat if you didn't get enough coverage on the first coat. So we wanna make sure that we've got full coverage, right? And then that canvas, no white is poking out in that canvas. There we go. All right. And sometimes, you know, the paint is either thicker or thinner in each one. You might have to stir it a little bit more than what you're used to. Make sure that it's a good consistency, not too watery, not too thick. You also don't want it gloopy. You want a nice even consistency there. Okay. And you want to make sure that it's covered enough so that you don't see your number anymore, right? You didn't put on enough paint if you can still see the number. All right, gonna have to paint it more. Okay, so now we've got some running across this way. So I may change up my brush to this one. See, this was the one that I was using all day yesterday. And I really liked the way that it felt in my hand. So it sat nicely, covered nicely, yeah. And it had, so it gets more paint on there. And this other one might have been a little too thin. So again, you got to play with your brush and make sure that you know whether it's too thin or too thick. Play around with the different brushes, see which one works best for you. And you know, you don't have to just settle for one brush. You know, some of them might work in different applications. Yes, yes. Oh, completely cover the box. You got to completely cover the box, more than just the basics, right? You're going to do the outline of it, but you really want to put a lot of paint right in and color it all in. Absolutely. You never just do the basics. Yeah, that's like going through the motions. I don't do anything halfway. So, but I did end up changing out my brush. I found I was not getting enough coverage. It wasn't plump enough for me, not enough. It wasn't holding enough of the paint on it. So I did switch out my brush to a different brush. Moving on to the next 18 here. This one has an upward swing to it, a rather erect thing in the middle of it. So we are like a little tower in the middle going straight up. So we are going to utilize that. Now I get some jagged edges along this right quadrant here. So we're gonna just fill that in, re-dip the brush, running out of paint on the tip, and swirl it around. And now I have enough in this little corner that I am just gonna fill it in. I won't come back to that section unless it doesn't dry properly and you see that I missed some coverage. But I do like painting around the edges first, making that outline, and then we can go in and completely fill in the boxes when we're done, right? Okay. All right, more paint. And again, I'm going right to left, but that's because, well, number one, I'm a lefty. And since I am a southpaw, if I went left to right, I would be running over my hand and my whole hand would be covered in paint. So here I am working opposite the way that I would normally write because I am that lefty. Again, it's great for your fine motor skills and concentration. And that's a nice quiet activity to do with you. Hello, thank you for joining me. You've got Mary Burke Live. Make sure you hit follow, make sure you hit subscribe. Oh, my nose is still itchy. I don't know if it's my hair is in my face or usually I have it back. And today it's kind of a crappy day out. It's rainy. It's in the 60s. It's 68 degrees out, which isn't bad, but it's that drizzle, and it's a cold drizzle. So that once rain gets into effect here, my hair does this poofy thing. Am I a model? You could consider me a model. I'm a content creator. So I do, I show you what clothes I have with the outfit of the day, or when I'm golfing. And I bring you different products that I enjoy or like. So, but I am not a brand ambassador in that I just bring you things that I like and that I have found that work for me. Because if they work for me, they might work for you. Hello. Oh, I don't know what is up with the nose. It is going crazy today. I think it really is because my hair is in my face. And that's going to drive me crazy. So that's why I've been putting it back once I get outline this box. And then I can be a little bit more freehand and not be so cautious about spilling over the edge. All right, now I got this one done. There, now I can put that back. Glasses are always a headband. Have you ever noticed that? Okay, now we can get into some nice long strokes in there, get that full coverage going. Get a lot of paint. I want you to put a lot of paint on that brush because we got a big area to cover. And we can just really get in there, right? And spread it out over that whole canvas inside this box here that we've got. I will go around that window in a second. Yeah. And make sure that, and it doesn't matter whether you go up or you go down. And I'm sure that the actual painters out there will correct me that it should be a sweep from this to that and what have you, but this is a paint by numbers, and I'm not really worried about putting it up in a gallery or anything. So we're gonna swoop that around. There you go. And now I'm gonna put those glasses back down just to make sure I got it all. Got it all. Okay, so see, now I can see some spots that I missed that I need. And I wanna, now I already have a lot of paint on this canvas. I wanna just move it around and redistribute it where I need it, right? And again, if I have some extra in the middle, I can tap, tap, tap it on there, like so, and make sure, and then if it needs a stroke here or there, we could stroke it here or there, and make sure we get it all covered. All right, so there you have that. 18 is all filled in. Thank you for joining me, everybody. You've got Mary Burke Live, working with number 18 today. That's a 16. Oop. So that's not going to help us. That's a 16. That's a 16. 21, 19, 18. And I do try to, I keep a method to it. Like I start on the right and I work this quadrant, and then I'll move across the page, right to left, in the top half, and then I'll work on the bottom. Top half first, bottom half second. So, if you have any questions, you can certainly put them up there. My head will be down and bobbing up and back up, up and down, as I go back and forth between the page and looking up at you. So if you have a question, I may or may not miss it, but you can certainly put your questions right into the comment section, and I will attempt to answer you. But you should all start by hitting follow, subscribe, join, like, and comment. There you go. Now that little box is pretty well done. All right, 18. Okay, here we got another 8. Ooh, this this is a really big one. Oh, I didn't realize it went all the way up there. Dang. All right, I shouldn't have done that 18 first. I saw the 18 here and then I started tracing it all the way back and I'm like, dang, it goes all the way up here. All right, well, this is gonna be interesting because I got a little bit of paint on the left of me. So I'm gonna have to keep my left side of the left hand away from that edge for a minute as I try and stroke this down and around and get this outline going. If I get this left outline going first, you'll see how big this is. It starts way up here, but the 18 is all the way down there. So that's a good distance. I don't know that I've done one this big. I mean, I've done some areas that are bigger, but like right here, this is probably the biggest one that I've done today, and with lots of angles. And lots of straightaways too, angles and straightaways. But, all right, and then we'll have to be really close on that. There. May have to go over that with a second coat. Make sure I got that all filled in. Yeah. And I try to go to the line, but not necessarily over the line, because I don't want to crowd in on that other space. And then when I close that space with the next color, that's when I'll fill it all in. And then this should all be dry by that point. All right. I have steered clear of that spot now. I'm free to move about the cabin with my left hand. Still want to keep it in control though. There you go. And then I am gonna close this again on this side. And work it down. So that we got the top half outlined. We can come in and fill in the middles. These are more circles instead of boxes. So this is really kind of free form here. So there we go, come down. See, now I don't have to be so concerned. I've already got paint in that. See, the blue is already painted. I can kind of, it's all right if I meld with it, if it melds together. Thank you for joining me. Any questions? No questions. Everybody? Okay. All right. Thank you for watching. You've got Mary Burke Live. This is the account for you to follow, for you to like, for you to subscribe to. I'm going to get into this section over here because it goes all the way over here too. It really spreads out. It's like a vine or something. All right. And then these ones are going to be finer, so I might have to switch back to that little brush. We'll see. I'm just going to work with the tip here. Don't put any of the, just the tip. No, yeah, see, it needs a little bit more paint. It might be too much. There we go. Okay. I think I got it. And then put that in there again. Okay. Whew, that was a tight one. That was very tight spaces, and the brush was a little bit thicker than the space, but I was able to maneuver it. I was able to handle it pretty well. All right, back into a little bit thicker territory here. I can work it pretty good. So if you've been following me, you know that I had hosted Easter here. So a lot of the Easter stuff was a lot of fun, stuffing the Easter eggs. What else did we do? We made deviled eggs. I made a beer bread live. So a lot of these are happening during my live presentations, but I also put up material of, you know, me golfing or me doing, bringing the chicks in. So I got some new baby chicks, maybe in a little bit. When I'm letting this quadrant dry, I'll bring the chicks in for you. Hi there, Roberto. Thanks for joining me all the way from Mexico. Yes, you're subscribed? Oh, excellent. I love that. I love that. Love when you've subscribed to my channel. And if you didn't know that I had additional channels or social media platforms, you should go to my profile page now that you're subscribed and go to check out all my different authorized social media platforms. Okay, now we got another little branch kind of thing in here. So we're gonna get in there. Another little hook or a little bay, it looks like. There you go. Like Cape Ann or Cape Cod or something there. Okay, and then we can come around, swoop around there, get that edge there, come down on the right, give it a little bit more paint. There you go, and get down into that corner. Ooh, there's another little, there we go, up and around there, come down the bottom. Getting there, we're getting there. Okay. You've been following me for a long time? I love it, I love it. Yes, yes. Thank you for thinking I'm beautiful. I do appreciate that. Thank you, David, for watching. Thank you, Hector, for joining in. Hi there, Leah. Thanks for thinking I look nice today. Hi, everybody. You're loving the artwork. Hoping that you're loving it too. Make sure you have a paintbrush in hand, okay? If you don't, and you gotta go get your paintbrush if you don't have it, okay? You might have to ask your wife for it if your wife's holding your paintbrush. So, but get that paintbrush out. Dust it off, rinse it out, make sure it's clean before you start, and then you can dip it in the paints. All right, and I'm coming up the back side here, coming up that left side. Change the angle of the dangle for that. Swirl it down and around here. Okay, then we're gonna swoop there. Again, change that angle, come up on it. Sometimes you have to come up over the top and get it from a different angle because your hand doesn't want to work that way. And that's okay, it's paint by numbers. It's not rocket science, right? We're just trying to stay in the line. Okay, and work those fine motor skills. Make sure that we're getting a good work on that paintbrush today. Yeah. Sometimes you put the paintbrush away and you forget about it for months at a time or weeks at a time. You should never forget about your paintbrush. Always got to take care of that paintbrush. There we go. There. Sorry, I had to concentrate on that part, so I stopped talking. There. Okay, so do you see how that just squiggled all the way down through there? Now that I got that the outline, I won't call that a box because there is no box there. These are more swoopy, swirly thingies here. So we are gonna, but it's like serpentining all the way down. So we're gonna serpentine down with it. And this is gonna take a lot of paint coverage here. So make sure you dip often because your paintbrush will run out real quick. There we go. All right. That was a dabble, do ya? And then I'm gonna squeeze it through that middle section because now I've been dipping that tip over and over and over and over and over again. And a lot of buildup happens in that middle. So you wanna take that middle part and just kind of flatten it, mush it, squeeze it, put some pressure on it, and let all the excess just come flow back through that tip. There you go. All right, and we got that big one done. Look at that. Yay! I'm so proud of us for getting that one done. Did you finish on that one? Okay, I'm looking for another 18. Or looking for another 18. I'm gonna start at the top. And I'm only going to this well, there's one right on the cusp between quadrant 3 and between quadrant 2 and quadrant 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I have it, the canvas is in quarters, so this is right on the cusp of it. So I will take care of it now. I won't leave it for later. was just kind of a blobby. So we're good with that blobby. Any other 18s in here? 10s, 15s, 19, 21. This one's an 18, but let's make sure we don't have any 18s in. Again, I want to do top down, because if I do this one first and then go up, I run the risk of having my left hand just smudging it everywhere. We don't want smudges. We want a nice clean edge. And go dip that again. I found this rather large area here that is an 18. So we're gonna work that all the way down, another swoop angle down. It is gonna V right there, so it comes to a point, and then we can, nice gentle angle on that left side. The bottom is nice and flat. So once we swoosh around this corner here, it'll have a couple of little squiggles in it, but for the most part, you can get the full length of that brush down and brush right across it. Pretty easy right there. That's a pretty easy one to complete the box. All right, and then you can, if you had some excess paint there in that swoop, you can use it. If not, re-dip. Go back to the well and re-dip. Potential spam. Don't you love when that happens? Potential spam. Okay, so I'm going back up the top, looking for 18s. Just make sure I didn't miss anything there. That one's an 18, so we'll do this one. This is a large one as well. We'll start up here, come around like so. Okay. And then down. So we are working on part of the village that's on the landscape here. This is a Mediterranean seascape that I am working on. So it's very pretty. Lots of blues and greens, and now we're getting into the orange and terracottas of the village. All right. And we got a little hook up there, so we're gonna get into that hook. Ooh, this one goes over a little bit further than I was expecting. Wasn't expecting it to go that far. Okay. That's another reason I trace the edge, so that I know the parameter of the box that I'm, or the part of the canvas that I'm working with. Excuse me. So if you trace that edge, you can figure out how big of an area you're working with. If you don't trace the edge and you just get in there and slapping the paint everywhere, you have no idea how much coverage you're gonna need. There we go. It's a little bit finer, swooping around to the left. And it's so funny because I am telling my hand to go even more left, and it just stops. It won't go there. Okay, there I got it. I had to do multiple swipes on that one. I'm thinking I'm getting full coverage, and I wasn't. Maybe I have to change the angle of my hand to get it, to get that cut. There we go. See, I just had to change up that angle of the dangle there. All right, lots of cutouts in here. This is not the uniform box. This is, again, a very free flow. And I thought, since we were dealing with the landscape here, that we would actually be dealing with the houses. So, but we're dealing with some pretty free-form stuff in here. Okay. And, okay, let's go down along this edge. Finish that off, and down there. And down like that. Okay, now I gotta go up this whole peninsula. Ooh, there's a big peninsula here. I gotta work my way all around this peninsula. The edging of it. Getting the edging of that peninsula without going over the lines. There we go. Up and over the tip there of that peninsula, and then I'm working my way back down. Okay. got some nooks and crannies I gotta get in on. I'm gonna need more paint. There we have it. All right. All right. That one's some fine motor skills there. Everybody got a hold of your tip right? Got control of it? Make sure you're staying within the lines. There. Whew. That was an odd-shaped one. Now I do have to go out and around because I got something in the middle here that's a little cutout. So I gotta make sure that I get all around that cutout and I don't accidentally just paint over it. It'll be a different color for later, and to make sure that I don't paint the number by accident, because that's always fun. Painting the number and you're like, ah, what number is that? Hi there, everybody. Thank you for joining me. You've got Mary Burke Live. This is the account for you to follow, for you to like, for you to subscribe to. Make sure that you also check out my profile page once you have hit subscribe or follow, so that you can also see my authorized pages, my authorized other social media sites, you know, Instagram, TikToks, Facebooks, and what else is out there? What didn't I mention? Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. Almost I've got 1.97 million followers on YouTube. So I need about 300,000 more. Can you guys help me out? Can you guys help me out there? I need about 300,000 more followers to hit 2 million on YouTube. 1.2 million followers on Instagram. Thank you for everybody that does follow me or has subscribed to me. So I do appreciate each and every one of you, of my subscribers. So just make sure to get the word out that I need more. more. I'm doing well, thank you for asking. My nose is dang itchy today. I don't know if maybe it's pollen. So I did get this orchid. I think I have to put an ice cube in it. It's looking a little wilty. So I've had orchids in the past. I got this on Easter. A guest brought me an orchid. So it says to put 3 ice cubes in it a week. That's all you gotta give it, is 3 ice cubes. So maybe I should do that right now. I'm gonna put my paintbrush down. If you need a little break, we've been working pretty hard with that paintbrush. So also make sure that you dip it in the water there. You wanna occasionally clean it. It gets a lot of buildup on it and it'll start to get stiff. And I don't know if I'm gonna use that one again or if I'm gonna switch to a different brush. So I like to keep those brushes pretty fluid. I don't want the tip to be too hard. Okay, gets that buildup. Okay, this is the one that I've been using. Here, let me get a couple of ice cubes. I'll be right back. You guys can stretch your legs, stretch whatever you need to stretch. 2, oh, I got a lot more than 3. Okay. Put those in the sink. But I am gonna put 3 ice cubes. 1, 2, and 3. Right there. And that's supposed to be all the water it needs for a week. But I have no idea, you know, when it was watered last. And it is looking a little wilty today. So I am giving it a nice refresher there. Thank you so much. Greetings all the way from Germany. Thank you for joining me today. I'm working on number 18. Yes, the pollen is very high here in Florida. Yes, I get pollen alerts all the time, so the pollen is killing me. And I'm not usually an allergic person, but the pollen is really killing me. So, all right, back to this quadrant number 2. I see an 18 just popped right out at me. So we're gonna go over to that 18 over here. It's a large 18, so I'm just gonna make sure that I don't have any other ones above it. No, we are good. And part of it has the gray green that I was working with yesterday. So now I can color over that edging Make sure that I got full coverage, blend it together. You want to blend it. You don't want your line showing when you're done because that wouldn't make much sense. You gotta fill it in, right? And then the open edge that doesn't have anything in it, I'm gonna leave that like that. Okay, and then we're working down this left side like so. And into the finer details there. Pull that paint out a little bit there and a little bit there. Give it a couple of little peaks. Then we're gonna blend it here down the bottom. Get a little more paint on the tip. Do a little blending. And like so. And now we can just fill that middle in. Nice long strokes. You can kind of mash out that middle if you got some buildup in there again. Yes. And fill it in. And there you have it. All right. Well done. I got another big one here. I'm going to start in on this big one right there. Okay. This one, does this one look like Alaska or something? Here we go. I'm going to fill that in. Now I didn't have to, it has a wide, broad space in the back of it, so I used not just the tip, I used a little bit of the thicker part of the brush to get my outline going. Now as I get into some finer areas, I will have to go back to just brushing with the tip. But here I can use some broader stroke, right? Because it's got that nice inside edge. There we go. We got a lot of space to cover. You don't have to just use the tip. You can use much more of your brush here because it's a much bigger, open, wider space. I am gonna tilt my canvas a little bit here so I can get a nice edge going down. All right, again, I went rather thick, using the thickness there. All that is good. Fill up to the line. Try to not go over the line, but fill to the line. And then down here, I'm gonna need to be a little bit more precise. Not the top part, but here in the bottom, I'm gonna need to be a little bit more precise. See, that's the beautiful thing about not having the canvas up. Here we go. I can paint it how I want to paint it. Twist it way I need to twist it. Okay, now we're gonna fill in that. Again, thanks for joining me. You got Mary Burke Live. Let's have some fun. Let's paint that canvas. Get that paintbrush out and make sure it's cleaned first, right? Because you don't want the dirty brush to bleed different colors or get the canvas all dirty. What you want to use is that actual paint color that we're working with. I'm working with 18 at the moment. That's 1/8, not just an 8, 1/8. There you have it. So I think I got some pretty good coverage on that one, like so. Hit follow, hit subscribe. There you go. If you got a question, you can put it up there. I'm getting lots of highs, lots of people joining in at the moment. Some hearts. So let me give you some hearts back there. Thank you for the hearts. I do appreciate that. I am simul broadcasting. Oh my goodness. Oh, gracious. Here we go. Woo. So sorry. It has to be the pollen. Maybe the rain has kicked up the pollen. I don't know, but it is crazy itchy at the moment. All right, so it is raining out today. Kind of a gray day, drizzly in the 60s. Great day to paint inside, stay inside, curl up, grab hold of your paintbrush and paint with me, right? Well, that's what I say. Thanks for joining me. Make sure you hit follow, make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you don't fall for the fakes. Lots of fakes out there. So by going to my profile page, you also get my authorized social media platforms. So like I am simul broadcast, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook at the moment. So if you didn't know I had those other platforms. That's an excellent way to go there. You don't have to just poke around, because if you go trying to search for it on your own, you're gonna encounter the fakes. Best for you to just absolutely hit the profile links and get directly there. Get to where you wanna go, right? Excellent. All right, now we're looking for on the hunt for an 18. We're hunting for an 18. I'm almost to this left-hand quadrant of side of quadrant 2. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4 of this canvas. All right, so there's a little one here. So this is a much finer space. I'm gonna have to pay attention. I might not be able to talk as much, but it is more of a swoop and fill. There you go. It does have a little tip there, and it comes straighter on this side, but it is little. We're just filling in a little box. So it is going to be a much more delicate stroke, lighter stroke, and shorter stroke. You're not going to be going to town on it. You're just going to be light and easy. Okay, go light and easy. And just a little bit of paint filled in that whole spot. 16, 17, 16, 19, 16, 16, 18. Okay, so we found another 18 here. So we're gonna also fill that in. And that's gonna be on the edge of the left, of that left side of the quadrant 2. And it kind of bottlenecks. It comes in, squeezes down into a narrower section, then slants back out, and then swooshes at the bottom. So now we're gonna get into the bottom part, and you're gonna have a little there, and then it's gonna kind of swoosh up, back up and around, like so. Okay, now I am gonna follow this all the way down to the bottom left-hand side of this quadrant, and we're gonna go down. So I got an 18 here, so we're gonna fill that one in, like so. And you can start to see the village come together there a little bit, right? As we work our way down. When you first start out, you're like, how is this gonna look when I'm done? But I'm starting to see the village come together a little bit. Make sure you fill it in. Don't leave any spaces uncovered in the box. All right, then I got a longer, all right, this one's a fat head. Look at this. That's a fat head across the top. And then it's gonna be like a hammer, kinda. Or a mallet. It looks like a mallet. So it's that fat head at the top. It's gonna have a little divot there. And then we're gonna swoosh around to this side. See, we got a big mallet-y type top there. Come in here, and then it's gonna gooseneck down. Gonna have a thin, way thinner shaft on it. There. Maybe like a cleaver or something too. An axe, a hand axe? I don't know. It is part of the village though, but I'm just looking at the shape that I'm filling in. And see, it all comes all the way down here. It looks like it has a handle on it too, like a tree branch or something off to the left. I didn't get enough on the tip, paint on the tip on that. It's really, the canvas is really soaking it up in here. So make sure that you have enough paint on your tip, okay? How old am I? I am in my fantastic 50s. Yeah, fantastic 50s right here. Absolutely natural. Yes. Well, not my hair. I color my hair. And I wear contacts, but those are natural colored contacts, the clear contacts. But yes, you got some original equipment here. So, and then we're gonna come around the top. Now, this original, and that doesn't mean that they haven't grown and changed over the years, because when I was a professional figure skater, my body fat was so low that I didn't have big sisters. I just had little sisters because that's all my body could carry, and I was a professional figure skater. Once I got married and had kids, then I went from a size B to a size D, and it stayed that way ever since. Now I can feel the hammerhead in here. So let's go back to that cleaver or that hammerhead. Use all that excess, press it all out of that body. There you go, out the body of the brush. And then you can fill it in, swoop it down, create your lines going all the way down, like so. There you go. Now we filled in that box. Any more 18s? Oh yeah, I got an 18 here. Okay, do I have any 18s in between here though? Yes, I do. Okay, so we want that one first before I go all the way to the end. This one might be a little bit more challenging because my left is already covered there. So we're gonna come in. I'm gonna be real careful moving that left hand because I do have that orange is already to the left there. That's why I try to go to the right and work my way right to left. I got so excited about the hammer one though. I wanted to do the hammer. Yeah. So we're gonna come back and try not. See, twist it to make it work for me. Twist that canvas so it works for you, right? Can change the angle of the dangle every once in a while. Can't squish the middle yet. I gotta get a little bit more on the tip because it's a little bit finer here, and we're marrying some different areas together that have already got color on it. Okay, there you go. Now we got it. 16. Ooh, there's a little 18 in the middle there. Itty bitty 18 in the middle. Thanks for liking my smile. Yes, my Easter was fantastic. Thanks for asking. I had guests. I was doing a live with my beer bread when my guests started showing up. So I ended my live a little bit earlier than I would have liked. I would have liked to have shown you the beer bread, but I got a late start. So that did not work out exactly the way that I anticipated it. But I had the deviled eggs as an appetizer, that and the beer bread. And then I had ham, turkey, mashed potatoes, carrots. It was a great day. Tons of guests all day long. Afterwards there was an Easter egg hunt, an all ages Easter egg hunt. So that was fun. Is that an 18 or a 16? 18 or 16? That's a 16. So this is going to be an 8. Oh, that's a 15. Good thing I double checked that. That was a 15. Ooh, 15. Pretending to be an 18. So none of that. Okay, that's a 20. Okay, what color we got in there? 16, 19, 19, 16, 19, 16, 18. Ooh, that might be an 18 too. Okay, 2 itty bitty ones in here. 16, 15, 10. Okay, is that a 13? That might be a 13. This one's definitely an 18. I'll save that one. That one's a 13. That's gonna be more of a brown color than an orange color. And then we have just a little swoosh cut out here. And then I got a little nubby one. It's like a, I don't know what you would call this one. But this one's just like, there you go. Just like that. Okay. And then going down, 10, 10, 19, 19, 19, 19. Did I say there was another 18 in here? I don't see it. 8, that's an 18. Right there, 16. Okay, this one's an 18, so we'll do this one too. That's on that, starting in quadrant 4. Okay, but now we're moving over to quadrant 1. I don't think there's gonna be much in quadrant 1. You might have some over here, but when we get over there, I don't think we're gonna have anything. I am gonna move my paints over because this is gonna shift. Okay, so we're gonna let that section. So I wanna show you. So now this is where we're at. See, it's starting to take a little bit more shape, isn't it? Starting to take we got the sky up here, we got some foliage up there and on the right, and then we get a little bit of the village in there. All right, so there'll be some more down here, and then we'll get, maybe I'll get some colors in the boat. There's a couple of boats down the bottom, so maybe there'll be some orange in the boat. We'll see. So thank you for joining me. You got TheMaryBurke Live. Yes. Am I in America? Yes. Yes, I am an American. I do not speak about politics or religion here. This is a politics and religion-free zone. The quickest way to an argument and dividing of people is to discuss those. And there's plenty of places for you to go ahead and discuss those. It just won't be here. So thank you for joining me, though. I do appreciate it. This is just a place to kick back, relax, enjoy, and take your paintbrush out. All right? We're working on that paint. Yeah, working on that. Working on that coverage. We're going to try to cover this whole canvas here. Okay, 16, 18, 17, 20, 16, 10. Hike. Okay, so we're over here. This is the first one that I see. Is this one. So we're going to work on this one. Looks like a bunny ear. I was wearing bunny ears, but I've retired my bunny ears until, when's Hugh Hefner's birthday? Just kidding. They are over here, though. I do have my bunny ears. I haven't put them away yet. I do enjoy the holidays very much, and I enjoy hosting and cooking and getting everybody together and having a good time. So those things are not going to change anytime soon. Not sure what. I know that there's a lot of stuff coming up in, I don't know about the rest of April. Trying to decide on a trip. Do I head over? Do I ditch my, here's a question for you. Do I ditch my normal Disney vacation? Like I'm an annual pass holder over there, so I go over there a lot. Do I ditch that? Do I do a vacation at Universal? I haven't done a vacation at Universal in like years. So maybe a decade. So do I do that, or do I hop on a cruise? What's your thoughts? If you were me, would you go on a cruise, or would you go over to Universal? If I had like 4 days and I was going someplace, 4 or 5 days, do I go to Universal for 4 or 5 days, or do I go on a cruise for 4 or 5 days? What would you do? Let me know in the comments. Filling in this 18. Do you got enough paint on your brush? I have to go back and dip it in. Make sure that tip is covered. There we go. Boy, they are really hitting me up on the spam mail today. Spam phone calls. Okay, so now we're gonna get into that middle. Now, again, you can flatten that middle and squeeze out all that excess that's been building up as you dipped your tip over and over and over again. Because when you dip the tip and then you apply it to the canvas, if you do a light touch, it is gonna pull some of it off, but it's also gonna push some of it into the main area of the brush. So we wanna make sure that we also squeeze out that excess out of the middle of the brush, right? So we're not, so there's not too much built up and it's just oozing and dripping. So you wanna keep it well maintained there. Okay, I got another 18 over here. So again, now if I feel that I've got too much, I can always wipe it on I have a tissue over here, so I can, or a paper towel, so I can utilize the paper towel and wipe off some of that excess if really needed. Now I'm going back to that, get that tip covered so I can go back to my outline. This one here. Now this one here kind of reminds me of an anvil. Okay. Or E.T. The way that the head is kind of You know, E.T. has that alien head. You'll see what I mean when I finish the outline. Kind of looks like E.T. If you guys remember the movie E.T. Thank you for joining me. You got Mary Burke Live. Make sure you hit follow. Make sure you hit like. Make sure you hit comment. Make sure you hit subscribe. All of the above. Yeah. Just doing a little painting. Which reminds me of a line from a movie called Cutting Edge, another older movie with D.B. Sweeney and Moira Kelly, where it was about figure skaters and a hockey player. And he has to go back and tell his hockey buddies that he's actually been doing some figure skating. And his brother mishears him, it says, "Finger painting? You've been doing some finger painting?" And he's like, "No, figure skating." So that's pretty funny. Okay, so we're on that left edge. Swirl it around. See what I'm saying here? Maybe it's a dragon. It's not, it's part of the countryside. But just the shape in and of itself that I am painting reminds me of like E.T. or a dragon or something here. Got a little tail at the back side of it. Yeah. See how that looks? That's a little thingy there. Okay. I'll shut up and I'll just paint. Hi there. Thanks for joining me. You got Mary Burke Live. Make sure that you hit follow, subscribe, like, check out my profile links so that you can get all my authorized social media platforms. And make sure you're following me on all of them. That way you get notified when I go live. You can join in. You can get your paintbrush out and paint with me. Or you can exit. Tomorrow will be exercise every day at 11. I do something a little different. Each week over week, it is the same format with exceptions of the holidays. So I did some special stuff on Easter and building up to Easter. But Wednesdays is wacky workout Wednesday. So stay tuned for tomorrow because I'll be bouncing around working out with you. Make sure that you get a good pump on. So you get swole, get a good pump. And then Thursdays is gardening. And while I gardened today, I guess I took care of my orchid. But we can check in on the orchid and some of my other plants that I have. Oh, I missed this one up top. Okay, so we're gonna go back up top here. This is an 18. This is a nice swell. Let's see, it's over the it's on the not the horizon, but the hillside, if you will. So it's more of a sloping, swooping edge to it. So you probably want to do a nice fine stroke down. It's gonna really bottleneck in and kind of snake back on itself. Now get a little tiny tail there at the end. The bottom is okay. You can pretty much follow, your brush line will just naturally follow that curvature. There you go. And then I'm gonna connect the bottom and the top. In the middle, we have some squiggles. So you're gonna squiggle through the middle. So it won't be an even up and down. It'll kind of squiggle through the middle. And then on the left edge will be a straight up and down. So then we're gonna go up and down right here. Make sure you get it all fully covered in. Change the angle of the dangle on the brush to make sure you fill in all the spots, like so. 16, 17, 13, 16, 21, 18. Okay, so we're over here on this one. That looks like Australia. Just, again, we're trimming out around the edges. Just starting, whoa, that's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot of words. That's a lot of words there. So anyways, did anybody put in a response? I asked you a question whether I should go on a cruise or whether I should go over to Universal, Orlando, for my next trip. Nobody seems to want to answer me on that one. Which would you do? If those were your choices, go to Universal Orlando for a few days or go on a cruise out of Cape Canaveral or Tampa or Miami. Haven't decided what port, what port I should go out of. Thank you for joining here. Yes, thank you. Make sure you hit follow, subscribe. Yeah, you got Mary Burke Live. We're taking a nice relaxing day, working on our fine motor skills, getting your paintbrush out, getting some good long strokes in. Now that was a nice long stroke right there. Yeah, make sure you got that, you want to have that, the shaft or the sticky part of your paintbrush just cradle right into between into the palm of your hand, kind of between your thumb and forefinger. And just like you're holding a pencil, you want it to be firm, but you don't want to give it a death grip or anything. But you do want to have some nice, even, firm pressure there and above the metal tip, okay? Because otherwise you're getting you're not going to be able to get good strokes there. If you sit back a little bit further, you can get a much longer stroke using that thumb and forefinger. Okay. So, still, no, nobody wants to answer me. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. So, yeah, there you go. All right. There. Every day I do something different. Today is arts and crafts. Tomorrow's going to be workout. We'll work out together. We'll get a good pump on. Thursdays is gardening. Fridays is food and travel. Saturdays is kind of a recap, and Sundays is questions and answers. So every day at 11, I'm always doing something with you. We're always making something, okay? What's the weather like here? Well, it has been, yeah, it's still very gray out there. It looks like the sun's trying to break through a little bit, but it's 70 degrees out. Here, it was drizzling rain earlier during my walk, so it was very, I won't say it was definitely a stay indoors kind of day today, not a get out and about kind of day. What's the noise going on in the background? Landscapers are out here using their weed whackers. Yes, trimming the edges. Yes, working on whacking those weeds. So yes, we have some landscapers out there working on the lawn. So, and I have that St. Augustine grass, which I'm still transplanting. So if you've been following me, you know that I did a transplant, and that is still growing and filling in, and I'm still taking a plug or two here and there and transplanting it, trying to make it grow all in together. So we'll see how that experiment works out. But that St. Augustine grass is more like a vine. It grows along the top. It does not have deep roots, and so it goes vine-like and then has like these little tiny, it's pretty strong in there, but once you get a section that goes dead, it takes up a big area and it doesn't have roots. And it also, the big thing about St. Augustine is it doesn't blow its seed anywhere. There's no seed to blow. Like all the other grasses, they get tall. Thank you for my cowboy hat and mustache. I do appreciate that. Sending you love. Thank you. It just, it'll repollinate. It regrow everything. But St. Augustine doesn't seed. It does not blow its seed. So when it doesn't blow its seed, I either have to fill in with a different type of grass seed, or I have to transplant and put in plugs. Yeah. Have I ever been insulted on a live broadcast? Sure, but I don't give into that. It's my broadcast, and I talk about what I want when I want, and if somebody is rude or mean or obnoxious, I kick them out. It's my chat. My chat. Not you can comment all you want. I'll either ignore you or I'll kick you out. So that's the way that it is in Mary's house. So when you're on Mary's broadcast, you behave the way that Mary wants you to. Got it? Oh, thank you. So let's see. Where was it? Oh, I was on this one. Here we go. Go back to this one. Fill this one in. I figured you guys would be chomping at the bit telling me where I should go on my vacation. You guys always seem to want to tell me what's a good spot to vacation at. Or you just didn't like my choices. Cruise or Orlando. This one kind of looks a little bit more like Louisiana. There we go. 16. And an 18 here. Oh, I missed that one earlier. Right, dead dab smack in the middle. This has got a lot of pointy edges to it. I may have to change up my brush here. Deal with a finer tip brush if I can't get my tip to get into the corners appropriately. I think I got it for now. See if I can get up into that corner there. There, we got it. Re-dip. Get more paint on that tip. Where was I? Oh, it's here. See, some of these smaller ones, I'm just filling it as I go instead of doing the outline because they're so narrow and thin. No sense in making an outline on something that's so thin. It's got a nice little swoop down the bottom. Okay. That's a tough number. It's 16, I think. All right, 8, 19, 17, 19, 19, 19. Come back to this section. 19, 18 in the middle. Little 18 in the middle. Little Malcolm in the middle. Stuck in the middle. All right. And a tip up here. Little pointy peak. Just joining me painting. We got Mary Burke painting as we are having fun with some paint by numbers. And I'm working on 18s at the moment. Okay, 10. Okay, let's start at the top over here. We're going down that slope. Thank you for joining me. You've got Mary Burke live. Yes, yes. Yes, all right. Almost done with the top half, and then I can put this aside and sit down and chat with you a little bit more. Maybe bring my chicks out. Almost done with this top half. When I'm done with the top half, we can sit and chat. I just lost my 18. Where'd my 18 go? I saw it. I saw it. I had it in my sights. I did. Oh, there it is. Right here. Okay, so we're going to do an 18 here. That. Almost done with this top half. And then I'll get my cheeps. We can talk chick talk. If you want to talk about chicks. I have 4 chicks that I got. That was the other thing that I did for Easter is I got 4 chicks for Easter. 2 Isa Browns and 2 whites. So I will bring my chicks in a few minutes, but I gotta finish this up first. And then I'll jump off screen for a couple of minutes because I gotta go out and go get them. But then I'll be right back, but we still got more coverage here. Getting into some real small nooks and crannies some tight confined spots. You may have to change out your brush. If you can change out, if you're only dealing with one paintbrush, I got it. If you have multiple paintbrushes, you might have to swap it out for a smaller brush so that you can get some of those finer details. Okay, and now we're still moving over. But see, there's a lot less 18s in this quadrant of the, in that first quadrant, because we're at the end of the village here. The end of the village. Okay, let's see what we got. Do we got any 18s up in this little bush? Because there is a bush over here. That's a 10, 22, 10, 10, 10, 10, 22, 10, 8, 12, 8. Okay, so I think the top half is done. Okay, I'm gonna set that aside for a little bit. Let me go get the chicks. But I'm gonna show you what we got accomplished so far. I have not gotten into the bottom half of the village. This is just the top half of the village. Make sure you clean your brush. You want to thoroughly clean that brush, squeeze out any excess in that middle, any excess color in the middle, okay? Make sure you got a clean tip for when you come back. So here's what we've got so far. It looks a little something like that. So here's where we're at. So you can start to see some of that village take place. We have some greenery, we have some pink, blues around the top. Now the bottom part, you can see I stopped at that middle line, so I will have to fill in the bottom parts, and then whether or not there's any, if you look at the picture that I started with, whether or not, see, there might be some of that more of that orange in the greenery at the bottom, and maybe some in the boats. So stay tuned, there'll be more painting. So thank you so much for joining me today. I do appreciate that. You've had Mary Burke Live. I've been on for 107 minutes, but I do wanted to show you my chicks for a second or two. All right, you want to see my chicks? I'm gonna take them out. I'm gonna take out my chicks, but you have to wait here, okay? I will be right back. Positano, Italy. It says a Mediterranean seascape. So I don't know where in the Mediterranean it is. It could be Italy. I don't know. They didn't tell me. So that's all I've got is the Mediterranean seascape. So thank you for joining me. Okay, hold on. I'm going to move the canvas because I do not want the chicks on the canvas. So hold on a second while I move that canvas out of the way to dry. And the same thing with the paints. I don't want them drinking the cleaning water. That would be a bad idea. Bad idea there. We're going to clean that out. Dump that in the sink. Dump that water out and have it be ready for the next one. And then this one here. So you've got Mary Burke Live. We just finished up doing some painting. I'm going to pop the top closed on that one to make sure that I don't dry out. You don't want your paints to dry out. You want them nice and wet. And you don't want, if you leave them open too long, they can also get gooey and gloopy. You don't want them gooey and gloopy. You want a nice consistency to them. All right, let me go grab a chick or two. Stay right there. I am going to put down some more paper towels because the chicks poop a lot. Maybe I should name them Princess Poop a Lot. All right, be right back. Stay right there. Okay, I'm back. Making my way back to you, babe. Yes, I'm making my way back to you, babe. Was that a slippery surface? You almost skidded right off, Rusty. Yes, you did. You almost skidded right off. Now, Stella and Rusty want to come and say hi. Hey, I did not say you could get up on the table. Hey, get down. You cannot get up on the table. So here is one of my chicks. Yes. Hello, chicks. He has fuzzy feet. So I don't know if you can, it's a pullet. So they have fuzzy feet. So I had specifically said I wanted bantams, which have the fuzzy feet. And they're like, oh, we sold all the bantams. And then I was like, wait, these have fuzzy feet. So we'll see if the feet, if they grow out of it. So this is one of this is one of the whites. Do not peck my hand. Yeah, those stones look like they're food. So here's one of the chicks. Here's one chick for you anyways. Yes. Yeah, you're pecking? You're pecking away? Yes. So this is the one that I bring out. I brought this one to the golf course a couple of times. And we've, so if you've seen any of that content where I brought my assistant with me on the golf course. Yes. And she's very sweet. And then she'll calm down. When I hold them like this, they calm down. She may take a little nap. Rusty wants to give kisses. Yes. Thank you for thinking I look beautiful, Giuseppe. Hey, get down. No on the table. Sit, Rusty. Sit, Rusty. What if I want to come and say hi? Yeah. Kisses. Nice kisses. Gotta give kisses. Yeah. I also don't want her to fall off the edge, to hop around and fall down. That would be bad. Yeah. Hello, chick. Yes. Is that a good little chick? Stay on the papers. So this is one of the chicks that I got from Tractor Supply the Saturday before Easter. You can see that the wings are already starting to change a little bit. One day of ours is about a week for them in their lifespan. So if you were to do lifespans with them. So this is baby chickie. Yes. And this is one of the whites. And I have a Isa Brown as well. Now, get down. Rusty's like, you're letting the chick up on the table. Why can't I be? See, this is why I put the pad down. You are a pooper. Yeah. So again, they would eat. They eat a lot. They poop a lot. They sleep a lot in the course of one day. If you think about one day being a week of theirs. So yes, it's okay. Where you going, Rusty? What you looking at? Huh? There you have it. Yeah? That's not chicken nugget. That's not, yeah. That's your friend. Yeah. What if we put the friend on your head? Nope. Down here. I want to put them on your head. You've seen it where they sit on the back. What if you were standing? If you were standing, I could put her on your back, and then she could take a ride on your back. What do you think? I keep trying. Rusty's not having it yet. Thank you for liking my videos. I do appreciate that. This is the account for you to follow. Hi there, Ray. Thanks for joining in. For you to follow, subscribe, join. Make sure you're following me across all my authorized social media platforms by going to my profile links and clicking on the links. Then you can always follow me on all the different platforms. I'm very close on YouTube to 2 million subscribers. So if you don't follow me on YouTube, make sure you click the profile link and come on over and click that. And I'm almost at 1.3 million on Instagram, so the same thing applies. If you didn't know I had an Instagram, make sure you click on the Instagram and help me get to 1.3 million. So, And like I said, you can get to all my profile, you can get to all my authorized platforms from there. So that's the best route to go. Make sure that you're dealing with me and not one of the fakes. You jumped right up and over my arm. How funny are you? Hello, hello. Thank you for joining me. You got MaryBurke Live with one of my chicks. One of my chicks. I got 4 chicks. Yes, 2 puppies, 4 chicks. So these are the babies. I just got them the day before Easter. I got them on the Saturday before Easter. And I went to a different style of heating lamp. I had the old style of heating lamp, which I thought was going to be a fire hazard. So I went to a heating canopy. It's like a little tent or like a little canopy for the chicks, and you adjust the different sides of it. So it has an angle to it, and one side is lower than the other, but the other side, it grows with the height of the chick. Yeah, you cheapin'? And that's more like a heating pad. That is, and when they huddle all together, they're cold. So, and what you learn is that chicks at this age need to be about 95 degrees all day as they're growing. So as they get older and bigger, they can better regulate, but they need to be about 95 degrees all day. And so if you, you have your house or you have your area outside that you have them at, and it's 70 degrees, 70, 80 degrees, it's not warm enough. And you see them all huddled together. So you don't want them all huddled together. You also don't, when I had the other heating lamp, I noticed that they were huddled together, but they were as far away from the lamp as they could possibly get. So that was also incorrect. So I went and got this heating pad style canopy thing. And this is much more gentle. They can actually hop on top of it. I had a couple of them hopping on top. And they were enjoying being up above the heating pad, and it was safe for them to do that. And then in addition to that, on the bottom, they can huddle underneath it, getting those wings going. Look at you getting those wings going. Look at you getting those wings. Yes. Yeah, look at those wings. Trying to figure out those wings. Yay. That's a good chick. No names for them yet. Like I said, I have 2 white ones like this and 2, they're called Isa Browns. They'll give me about 4, each one will give me about 4 or 5 eggs per week, about medium-sized brown eggs. So, yes. Oh yeah, so I guess you could say 4 puppies or 4 chicks, right? Oh, 6 chicks, I could have 6 chicks. Thanks for being here and supporting me by hitting subscribe or like or follow, all of the above. Yes. You're just joining in. I just put away the art supplies. I did, and I brought my chick out. Now he's calling to his friends who are in a different area. Look at you flap those wings. Yes. So good. Yes. Can you hop to this other hand? Can you hop from one hand to the other hand? Thank you everybody for joining me today. Again, you have MaryBurke Live. This is the account for you to follow, like, subscribe, check out my profile page. Make sure you click on the links so that you can follow me across all my different social media, all my different social media platforms. Tweety Bird, yeah? Tweety Bird. Are you a Tweety Bird? I thought I saw a pooty tat. Yeah? This one's a chicken, not a bird though. But we could call you Tweety. No? We could. What do you think? Yeah? And they're just really calm and docile. And the more that I acclimate them to the different animals like Stella and Rusty, the more friendly that they'll be, right? Now Stella is a farm dog, and she's used to baby chicks. She's used to grown-up chicks, more poop. See? Ooh. Hi, Fluffy. Where you going, chick? Get back here. Yeah. So, where was I? He just took off, and I lost my train of thought there. I went, but yeah. So you want the chicks and the dogs to get along. And Stella is a farming dog, so she is very used to the chicks. She usually takes her nose and puts them. Hey, I did not say you could be up there. Get down. Get down. Rusty. Down. Down. Sit. Very used to herding them. She likes to make sure that she corrals them and puts them or moves them where I want them to be. So she gets her nose right underneath their butts and moves them along. Rusty is in training, so he is just kind of learning how to deal. And Stella, oftentimes, if I put the chicks out, Stella will get between the chick and Rusty to make sure that the chicks are safe, because she did not trust that Rusty would not chase it, or that he would not try to take a little nibble here and there and have a chicken nugget. Yeah, yeah. You're talking about my freckles? I have freckles. I do have lots of freckles. And with the freckles, I don't cover my freckles up. I'm not like other content creators that put on that pancake makeup and all that stuff. I let my freckles show through. So, yes. Yes. Huh? Yeah, you hungry? Should I put you back out there? Yeah, he's already a jumper. Can you believe it? She's ready. It's a she. They're supposed to all be pullets. Pullets are all female, so they're all supposed to be hens when they grow up. It is Tractor Supply, so I will tell you that if I have purchased 30 chickens from them, of those 30 chickens, 10 will have been, 10 will have been, even though I bought them as pullets, they will actually be roosters in there. So, I mean, you're dealing with them at a day old. So, and you're trying to sex them at a day old. And, you know, sometimes it takes a day or two to figure out whether it's on a chicken of this fluff ball. Yeah. But getting them used to, you know, being at a little bit higher height. Yes. Why do they change? Well, they have different, again, I just have to hide somebody that's being rude. Okay, so they have different fur. I mean, this is their fluff. Like babies, you know, have born with a baby fur, a baby hair, and then it falls out, and then they get their baby hair, and then that falls out, and you get the hair that you grew up with. Same thing with them. They have these little fluff, and you can see that her wings are already starting to change here. So if I take that out, you can see that that's no longer fluff, that their wings are already starting to change. So. Yeah, it's good to see. Good to have you here. I'm glad that you were able to catch my live today. Make sure that you are following me or subscribe to me. If you're not, make sure that you do hit subscribe or follow, and then you will be able to be notified when I go live, which is every day at 11. And today I stayed on for a very long time because it is kind of rainy out, and we got some painting done, and I got to play with the chickens a little bit. I got one chick out. I didn't take 2 chicks today, just one chick. One chick out. There we go. And then I'm gonna put you down, but it's cheeping for its friends. So I'm gonna bring it back, and I am going to say goodbye for today. Make sure you come back tomorrow at 11 Eastern Standard Time, Eastern Daylight Time, Eastern Daylight Time. And because we do daylight savings, and tomorrow will be Wacky Wednesday workout. So do I do golf and putting tomorrow? Do I do an actual workout? because I don't consider putting a workout, but it could be. We could make it fun, all right? So chime in tomorrow and see what we're gonna do for a workout. You'll get your pump on, right? All right. Thank you so much. Remember, hit follow, hit subscribe. Help me get to 2 million on YouTube and 1.3 million on Instagram. You can do it. I know you can help me out. Come on now. And there is no text me on Telegram. So if somebody just put in the Facebook, text me on Telegram. That's not me, because I'm chatting with you and my hands are free. That is a fake, a scammer. So be careful of those. Any of those that say that too, text me on Telegram, privately message me on Zangy, privately message me here. All those are fake. None of those are me. So just be forewarned that, and don't fall for that fake. All right. So yeah, I report them as quickly as I can, but they're like a hydra. You chop their head off and about 3 grow back. So I do my best to report them. You should report them too. Report that text on Telegram via the link. That's a scammer, not me. So thank you everybody. Have a great day. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, and help me grow that YouTube, YouTube and Instagram, and all my platforms too. So I'm also on Real Mary Burke again on TikTok, as well as Mary Burke Verified on Facebook. So thank you everybody. You want to see the painting? Well, I can show you with one hand, have the chick in another hand, and hope he doesn't poop on me in the meantime. So here's the painting that we're working on. It's getting closer. We're getting a little bit more coverage in there. So we worked with some blues, we've worked with some purples, we've worked with some oranges and some greens, and we're gonna continue working until we're done. And so make sure you clean out those paint brushes, because we'll be painting again soon. All right, thank you so much. When is the live broadcast? Live broadcast starts at 11 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time every day. Okay, and then it runs as long as it runs. So this is supposed to be a girl. This is a girl right here. It's a girl chick. All right, thank you so much for being here. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Bye now.